So Ankita, thank you for sending your ESR. It definitely helps, and I think there's certain things which are very clear over here. One is that you can see you're at 85th percentile on verbal and 67th percentile in quant. So even though there's still scope for improvement on verbal over here, there's much bigger scope over here, and in quant, that's kind of where you need to focus a lot of your energy. Let's go forward. One other thing that I'd really say is please fix your IR score as well. You do need that IR score. It will impact your chances of getting a good score. So let's kind of go into quant first. And I'm gonna go right into quant first, and over here, one thing which is clear is data sufficiency is an area that you're weak in, but essentially you're weaker in algebra and geometry than in arithmetic. So what does this mean with regards to where should you focus your energy on? And let's kind of see over here. Um, Clearly, not surprising, you need to do algebra. This is an area where that your scores in percentiles are lower or low. I wouldn't say it lower. It's not even comparative. 33% is low, as well as in geometry. I mean, if I were you, and if you could improve this to your 71st percentile over here, you could be at a Q49 to Q50, and which is something that I want you to be over here. Um, and that's something that's really, really important because the Q50 would definitely raise your score to a 720 right away. Having said that, you still have some scope of improvement in number properties, but PNC and probability is another area where you need to work on. So if I were you, I would start with focusing your energy on this 1, 2, and then 3 over here. I would spend about, if you had, hypothetically speaking, 50 to 60 hours, 3 would be your last priority. You'd spend about the first 30 hours in this, the next 20 hours in this over here, making sure that you improve these parts. Now, another thing that I looked at is your score ability limited or is it timing limited? And just by looking at this, what I can see is you've done really well when the questions weren't as difficult. So over here, you just had one mistake, and this one mistake was on hard questions. When the average difficulty level of questions was more near medium, you're able to get everything right. Again, the difficulty level went up, you got everything right. Only when the difficulty level went up to this highest level over here, that's when you started making mistakes. So what this tells me is that you are way more ability limited. Now, why do I say you're ability limited? Because in block 3, you took a lot of time answering questions. I mean, your average time to answer a question correctly, if you do the math over here, is about 3 minutes 15 seconds, give or take. And that's because as questions became difficult, you started taking longer. Now, in medium difficulty questions or medium hard questions, which is what you got in block 2, you only took 2 minutes 15 seconds. Again, shows that your comfort level with these questions is not there when questions become difficult. So if I were you, what I would do is, in our quant scholaranium, I would focus on solving on attempting these sections and solving medium questions, because our medium questions are slightly harder, and hard questions over there, and the same thing, medium questions and hard questions. And frankly, you solve close to 100 questions over here. Look at the detailed solutions, solve 100 questions over here. Looking at the detailed solutions, and you're going to find that that essentially you improve your hit rate on these questions quite a bit, because you have the basics. I mean, you're doing that quite well. So that's quant. I mean, I see you getting a Q50 given where you are. On the verbal side of things, let's kind of ask ourselves the same question. Are you ability limited, or are you timing limited? And again, what you see over here is really good performance in the first 2 subsection. Again, the questions that you're getting wrong, their average difficulty level is higher. Now, what happens in block 3? There is some panic setting in, because I think you realize that you won't have enough time. So to a certain extent, your score is timing limited over here, and which shows up in accuracy in this tremendous reduction in accuracy, despite questions not being as difficult over here as they were over here. Um, so that's kind of where I think you lost about 2 points. You were, in my opinion, had you repeated this performance over here in this block, you probably would have gotten to a verbal score of 40. So you were on par with that. Now, what does this mean with regards to where you need to focus on? And you do need to focus on CR, and let's kind of go to your ability chart, your RC and CR while maintaining RC and SC while maintaining CR, and clearly lots and lots of opportunity here. I mean, if again I were you, I'm gonna send you a couple of webinars. Watch through them. That's an SC error log webinar. Definitely try and apply this over there. And again, in Scholaranium, revise your mistakes. And take notes, look at the detailed solutions to figure out why you made those mistakes. I mean, that's all that you need to do. You are already at that around 80th percentile or so in RC. You can hit that 90th percentile over here. And in SCM, watch the webinar, which is the SC error log webinar, and watch a couple of other webinars that I'm going to send your way. And again, revise, do the same thing, revise Scholaranium. And then you have a few questions left, solve them. So that's kind of what it is. I mean, frankly, you can get to that 730 score if you do this in about a month. I also got a message from the GMAT actually that they'll be hosting a webinar for us to take the GMAT from home, and that webinar that they're hosting for us on the 17th of April. So we'll get to know more either before that or on that day as to when the GMAT that you can take from home would be available. So hopefully this helps you with regards to a path forward. Also, one request, please, if you could put in the review on GMAT Club, that would be great. Thank you very much, and hopefully this helps you.